What the actual You thought I was going to say a bad word, like fuck. Hi, this is Doctor Who Exactly, which again, it's too warm for this scarf, like, okay. We're talking about The Timeless Children, which is Series 12, series finale. For Doctor Who, the reboot that started in 2005 and currently stars Jodie Whittaker, and I sound like a broken record, I'm afraid. I really like this. I really do like this. And again, according to the internet, I'm in the minority? Question mark. Yeah, so here's the thing. I will admit to several, grievances or, issues people may have or caveats about the episode itself that I can see, I agree with, and but not necessarily bother me. Right, so let's get down to business to defeat the hunts. Except there's no hunts in this episode. The Timeless Children is very much so an episode of Tell, Don't Show. And I'm not usually a big fan of those. Like, if you can't show your story, then talking about how everything is supposed to stick together is most of the time a sign of weak writing. I'm not saying I'm a better writer than Chris Chibnall, because one of us makes a professional living out of being a writer, and the other one is a showrunner for Doctor Who. Haha! Jokes! Right, so this episode starts off with the Master, everything's going to change forever. Of course, everything is going to change forever, but with a show like Doctor Who, which has run for so long, you can change things forever in a way, but essentially nothing is really going to change forever. It's always going to boil down to person in a big blue box having weird adventures in time and space. It's never going to rock the system that hard that it's going to be a different format than weirdo alien that looks like a human with a human friend, parentheses, close parentheses. It's always going to be just, about the Doctor and a couple of people having fun in time and space. So there's people that have issues with this destroying canon. First off, canon is only really a thing if you let it be a thing. It's something to use to your advantage, but it should never hinder the story you're writing or you're involved with. If the story you're making is bothered by the canon in the past, then that canon is in the way and irrelevant. Doctor Who is no different. In the past, it's done so many crazy things. All of a sudden, the Doctor has had a best friend. The Master didn't show up until the 70s, while Doctor Who was created in the early 60s. The Doctor hasn't always meant to be an alien. A regeneration was something that just came up with the fact that William Hartnell had to leave the show because of health reasons. Everything is made up. Everything is done on the fly. Everything is done just for the sake of, coming up with stuff. The War Doctor is a retcon. All of this, everything, ain't nothing. Canon doesn't matter. The story matters a lot more than the canon. If the story is good, then the canon means nothing. I said it. Come at me. At me, Twitter, @DutchSticker, Facebook, @DutchSticker, Tumblr, @DutchSticker, Instagram, no. Right, but I'm getting ahead of myself, so This episode basically picks up where the last one ended. The Doctor is on some planet named after the dude who lives on it. Basically, the entire episode is the Master multitasking, trapping the Doctor in the Matrix. And the Matrix in Doctor Who predates the Matrix in the movie series, by the way. So, the Master traps the Doctor, and then her entire bit is the Master explaining to her the origins of the Time Lords, which, yeah, basically a lot of this is explaining while the Cybermen are attacking these three people, including Ryan among them, on the planet, and explaining Ashard being, like, trying to conquer Gallifrey and destroy all life in the universe and becoming robots, and it's a lot of talky, very little action, very little climax. I'll be very, very honest about this. Like, I can see why this wouldn't work for a lot of people. Other finales, like the Doctor Falls, like Doomsday, like the parting of ways, like the Pandorica opens / the Big Bang, have been a lot more action-packed than this one. Even the Battle of Rang Angkor Gormamananas.
According to Wikipedia, the Battle of Ranskor Av Kolos.
The Battle of Ranskor Av Tolos. Chris Chibnall really likes his K sounds, doesn't he? So the Battle of Ranskor Av Kolos was probably more action-packed than this episode, and it probably tried to do more in a weird fashion than this episode did, because it brought back a bad guy that the Doctor thought she'd defeated, but then by defeating him she created a bigger threat for the entire universe at large. Whereas here, most of the threat was just the Master with the Cyberium, which he stole from Ashard, the lone Cyberman, and then creating the Cyber Masters, which ultimately didn't do anything. Whereas Tem Shah, even if you don't like his role as a villain, his position as a villain, his credibility as a villain, he had actively destroyed several planets at that point and was going to destroy the Earth. Whereas all the threats in this episode was hypothetical, like all organic life was going to be destroyed, all life was going to be subjected by the Master and his Cyber Masters. So I'll freely admit, I'm here telling you that if it doesn't work for you, that's perfectly fine. I may be an outlier. I may be the person not to ask. But here's the thing. I love it when finales in Doctor Who shake things up. It's like, ooh, the parting of ways is very good. Doomsday is very good. Everything that makes you unable to go back to the previous series, like the immediate one before that, that shakes up the system in such a degree that makes you go like, but how is the future gonna look like? That's good in my opinion. So here we are, right now, finding out that the entire concept of regeneration of the Time Lords, instead of being ancient vampires, it comes from the Doctor. Instead of the Doctor being just a flunky Time Lord who's not as clever as all the other Time Lords, not as special as all the other Time Lords, it's actually the basis for a lot of their genetic research of all the other Time Lords. Maybe that's why the Doctor, they are not as clever as the Time Lords, because they're just, the basis of the regeneration concept. That's great! I love this! Sasha the One, by the way. Okay, so Michelle Gomez is genius. She's brilliant. And her departure of the show was too soon. I wish we could have seen more of her, and then we don't even know why she regenerated, despite the fact that we thought she wasn't going to regenerate. And then we get Sacha Dhawan like 2 years after Michelle Gomez departs, 2 series after Michelle Gomez departs. We had a year pause in between, I do apologise. And I'm like, maybe it's too soon to bring the Master back. My brother once said this to me, like when Michelle Gomez showed up as the Master / Missy, he was like, I can't believe they already brought them back. I'm like, well, in between the last time the Master showed up, in David Tennant's appearances on television, and okay, so I really love Missy, and I think it might have been too soon to bring the Master back, but Sacha Dhawan is such a tour de force. He's so brilliantly unhinged. Like I said, he's actually more maniacal. Like, Missy killed people, John Sims' Master killed people, every Master killed people, Derek Jacobi, Peter Pratt, Jeffrey Beavers, Roger Del Mother Bleeping Delgado, Anthony Ainley, they all killed people without any, Eric Roberts, any regard of human life, Alex McQueen. But Sacha Dhawan seems like he could snap at any moment, and I love this about him. It makes his Master feel more standout, like it stands out a little bit compared to the rest. It's his defining trait, and I like the fact that the Master, who thinks he's better than everybody else, feels bothered by the fact that his existence hinges on his best friend, who he felt better than. That's so good! That's so good! Okay, Cyber Warriors. I didn't really talk about this in the Ascension of the Cybermen. I like the new Cyberman redesign. I did not feel the previous Cyberman design very well. They felt like the Iron Man 3 suit, like the Iron Man with Ben Kingsley in it, with all the gold plating, who's all like, upgrade in progress, upgrade complete. These ones sound like the reboot Cybermen from 2005, like Cyber Leader, like they don't sound special, but they seem sleeker, they seem less robotic. I do love me the Cyber Masters. I like the little grimace, like where they go like, instead of, I'm making faces at the camera, I do apologise. And the cloaks and the weird headpiece bits, love them, unironically love them. A shard being pushed aside to be just, you know, a human bomb or a Cyberman bomb is a bit too bad, because I felt it was being built up as a real villain, but you know, the Master is the Master, and sometimes the Master becomes the main villain, so good on you, Master. Now let's talk about the actual retcon itself. The Doctor is really old, and we don't know where they came from. Yeah, I don't mind. This blew my mind. I was like, I can't actually believe that they made them the Timeless Child, the Timeless Children. Okay, cool. I hope they actually don't explore this in any way or fashion. No, I'm being serious here. I hope they don't explore the Doctor's mysterious past. I hope they keep it a mystery, because what made the Doctor such a driving force is that we never actually knew what on Earth, or Gallifrey, the Doctor was. And now the Doctor is a mystery again, and in the end, what really happens? The Doctor gets trapped, gets told a lot of story, a few random Cybermen get killed, and then Seamus blows himself up instead of the Doctor blowing themselves up, and then the Doctor gets captured by the Jadoon. That's a whole lot of nothing for 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I've loved it. Brilliant. Shake me up again, Chris Chibnall. Do it. You stuck the landing, in my opinion. So, The next episode's gonna be around Christmas or New Year's. They don't know yet. I like the fact that they don't know yet. I hope it's gonna be Christmas again because New Year's doesn't feel right. And it's called Revolution of the Daleks. So I suppose the Daleks are back again. That bothers me a little bit because the previous cliffhanger was like, with the Jadoon, and you're like, oh my god, there's a prison of the Jadoon, and now it's like, no, Daleks. Anyway, disagree with me all you want, please. That's where the comment section comes into play. You can insult me, you can leave a whole heap of abuse down there, you can do things, something algorithms stuff. All I'm saying is give communism a try. See ya! The doctor is at Kosha Ram as Kalas Koma Mamalas. Kosha Rama Blah 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 Blah.
集中すると余計くっついちゃう